You have found Vagina Whispering, where we talk about everything from vaginas and orgasms to femininity, connection and love, intimacy, pleasure, intuition, menopause, and so much more. This is a safe place to have real conversations and make real connections. We're going to have a great time. We're going to laugh a lot, and we are going to fall in love with ourselves again. A quick note before we begin, the information we present here is educational in nature and is not medical or psychological advice, nor is it a substitute for seeking licensed healthcare services. Okay, let's drop you into the conversation.
Hello.
Perfect storm today. Storm. Is Mercury in retrograde? Good God, it's not, but whoa.
Something probably is, but I'm not sure.
There's so many things in retrograde, like my life.
What's going on?
I'm kidding. No.
Aside from being busy.
I'm just going to start with the reason I'm late is because when you commit to something in October and you forget about it, and then you get a text from from your previous foreign exchange student who says, "Hey, reminder, my friend's coming to town in 2 days," and I'm all, oh no. And she's 20. She's super nice, but she's a college student and she doesn't know anyone here. And she doesn't have a car. And mind you, I live in a mountain town like that is podunk sleepiness. And what are we going to do? And she's like, I know you need to work. I'm like, gotta go work. But she came down right. So I had just gotten done with the kitchen. Remember, I said, I got to get the kitchen cleaned and then I'm going to shower to look pretty for you, put a little makeup on.
Good job.
Thank you. And she wanders down from her room. She's been sleeping 2 seconds before I am like out to go shower. And I was all, do you drink tea or coffee? I'm so hoping that she says tea. And she goes, oh, coffee. And our coffee machine is broken. So I'm doing pour overs, which is not a problem. I was like, okay, cool. You can make yourself a pour over. And she goes, I don't know what a pour over is. I'm like, okay. I will grind you the beans. I will boil the water. I will da 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 da. And then she's like, can you help me plug my phone in? I'm all, there's outlets all around this house. Just go find a plug. I know. I just screamed. Sorry. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I've got to get a shower in and I've got to go get this meeting. So then I pop out and I'm like, are you okay? And she goes, yeah, I'm just reading about this incident in Burgos. And I didn't want to be rude. Like, I do not have time to talk to you. And she's like, this doctor killed a person with cancer. And I'm like, now if I leave, I sound like a complete, like hard ass. Oh, that's nice. Got to go. That's a mall. I'll explain. But and it's fine. It's totally fine. And she's super nice. And she met Teal yesterday and was so great with her, played with her. And she's really a warm person when they just don't have that little bit of understanding. And I've never met her before. I can't be like, I've got to go. Which if I had known her, I would have just done that. Anyways.
We all think of that like quiet scream moment as like our own personal sense of crazy. We have to dole our crazy out slowly when we meet new people, just so it buffers and it takes slowly.
A slow creep. It's like a slow creep.
Yeah.
And
like
then it jumps and gets you.
Yeah, like a slow burn.
Yeah, slow burn.
Yeah. So maybe
like diarrhea that doesn't end. I don't know.
Sure.
Just thinking of burning.
Just looking to bring it back to poop, maybe.
Not a good segue. Yeah.
I feel for you because that would be a lot. I know I can be that way sometimes, really oblivious to other people's urgency. And it's a real test of patience to not lose your shit on the person. Oh my God, did you not hear me? Yeah.
And I had texted it to her before she even woke up. I will be getting in the shower. I've got a meeting I've got to get to. Yeah. Just help yourself. Again, I'm trying to work with, she's not a teenager, but she's 20. So she's pretty much a teenager.
She's pretty much a teenager. It sounds like she's not the most self-sufficient type. And it is hard to make yourself at home in a stranger's house, even if they're great. It's still
yes. Yeah. She had to go make her own breakfast. So I'm like, I gotta go. Bye. Help yourself with the food. You know what? Because I got a bunch of food for her. So she's Spanish as well. So let's just add that. So it's my Spanish exchange student's friend from Spain.
Oh my gosh.
And she's an exchange student. She's good in her English. She's good in her English. That wasn't so great in English. Let's just honor that.
Maybe we should consult with her to fix that sentence.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, she's good in her English. Oh my God, that's just perfect. Anywho, yeah, and so she's studying abroad here in Nashville, Tennessee. I asked her, what do you want to do? And she says, I just wanted to see where Condela, my foreign exchange student, who's a good friend of hers, lived. And I just wanted to meet you. I'm all, you're staying 4 nights for that. Okay. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to take her to adult ballet class today. That's what
Mm,
I'm going to do. I'm all, okay,
good.
11:45. I'm taking your ass to adult ballet class if you'd like to come. I'm like,
Very
she's,
nice.
I would like to try it. I'm like, perfect. She's very open and great. She's just oblivious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, taking care of our bodies is what you wanted to
Mm.
talk about. And listening and honoring. And I'm excited. I've got a couple things to say too. But would you like to start?
I feel like it would be nice to start with the adult ballet class. And just to catch up our listeners, Jen was in a play last year. There are things that, even though you have a pretty high needs child and a very busy life and very productive, it seemed like there are these self expression things that you're doing. The word fixing came to mind. Do you feel like fixing? That wasn't the tone that I felt when you talked about these things. It's like you're not letting the busyness of your life hold you back from these like creative self-expressive activities. What would you say about
Yes.
them?
I'm trying to sit with the word fixing. So the message that comes in, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure I agree with, but I'm going to honor it,
Yeah, let's roll with it.
is if I can't fix Teal, and I heard it like this, if you can't fix Teal, then you should fix yourself.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with that comment because I've given
Yeah.
up on fixing Teal. There's no fix to it. There's just things that we do to help her and assist
Yeah.
her to be the best she can within the body that she was born with. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I agree with you, but there must be some honesty in there because there is some truth to that. When it comes to creative expression, I feel like oh, this is so fun. I feel like I'm at therapy. I'm trying to find the right words here.
Yeah.
It's extremely important for all of us to find ways to have creativity and express it, not just sit with it and be like, I'm going to draw. Okay, but are you going to show your husband your drawing? Like expressing it. Here it is. Hey, I just want to show this to you. It might be crap, but I did it. Or your friend, or posting it to Facebook and saying, or Instagram and saying, hey, look at what I did. I just took 5 minutes and was expressive. I was creative today. And inspiring other people to do that. And I feel most alive when I'm on stage, right? When I'm acting. And or when I'm performing, like I did the Nutcracker, I did the party scene this Christmas with Alex, my husband, and Teal. And we did the party scene. It was so much fun. It's
Oh,
the second year we've done it. So this year was way more fun than last year. And Alex finally took it seriously. I didn't have to like scream at him to be like, "Oh, stops. She, because yeah, because it's actually huge. You have to dance. We have two big dances. There's New York professional ballerinas that come from
oh,
New
wow.
York and they dance. So you don't want to look stupid up there. People come from all over the region to watch this. So that's another way of, hey, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and
Mm,
completely express and be creative with my facial expressions or be creative with my hand movements or whatever. And ballet has been a part of that is I'm going to learn something new, which was huge for me because I feel like it's really easy to get into the dullness, groundhog day of life.
yes.
And if we don't challenge ourselves, I've been depressed lately, which is, I was talking to someone yes. Look at me just vomit on you. Jeez Louise.
Please vomit, vomit. I'm
Um,
enjoying connecting with you and hearing what's really happening. That's
Yeah,
what we
so
do. That's what we
yeah.
do.
Well, and I think it's perimenopausal. So this is it all
Um,
ties into just kind of
yeah.
like vagina whispering. I have been feeling really heavy. I told Alex we were in Hawaii for 3 weeks, not complaining. It was great. But I was numb.
Mm,
I was numb. I told him, I said, it's hard to give you love and tenderness and the things that you need when I'm mustering all I can to give it to Teal.
mm.
And I don't have any for myself. And I
Wow.
certainly don't have any for you. That's where I am. Now, the
Mm,
way I am, Noelle, is once I express it, it starts dissipating. It's a very interesting thing. It's definitely talk therapy concepts. Once I expressed it to Alex and I cried and we talked about vulnerability, And no, and that's a whole nother episode. Actually, I'd love to have that as a whole nother episode because I've got some things to talk about there. But once I express it, it starts feeling better. And it's exactly what happened. I started feeling lighter. I
Mm.
started looking differently at the world. I started saying, "Oh, hold on, you've got ballet coming up, and oh, you've got another acting gig. I'm getting paid. No, another acting thing coming up.
Yeah.
Life isn't all heavy, and you can choose
Mm.
how to look at this. You can choose. You can choose." And I recently read the book, The Midnight Library. Have you read it?
No, but there's a
Matt
whole
Haig.
thing about that book and I need to read it. I
I,
It's come up like 5 times in the last 6 months for me,
really? Okay, you
honestly.
need to
Yeah.
pick it up. It's not a hard read. She's depressed. How it starts is she's depressed and commits
Oh,
suicide. And
oh.
so it wasn't a good book for me to be reading while I was feeling yucky. And yet it was a perfect book to be reading when I was feeling healthy because the whole
Mm.
concept of do you know the concept of the book?
I
Actually, I'll
don't
share it
actually.
with,
Yeah.
I didn't either. And okay, back up a smidge. We were at reception at this hotel checking into our house in Hawaii, and my niece was with us. And she says, "Oh, it was like one of those someone must have left a whole bunch. You know, when people leave a book in a hotel and they don't throw
Hmm.
them out anymore, they like put them in a little library area." And she said, "Oh, Midnight Library. I have heard about that." And she said, "Jen, have you?" And I'm all, "No." And I picked it up and I walked out with it. I just picked it. I was like, because it was free. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't steal it, people. But I walked out with it and I read it. That was the book that I read over holiday, which but it was following that nudge. I knew that there was a reason
Mm.
that Payson mentioned it. I knew the universe was nudging me. It was exactly what I needed. The concept is she goes to this midnight library between life and death, and all of the books in the library are potential lives that she could have had based on choices and regrets and decisions. It's fascinating. And she like pops into these lives and then so
Mm.
it really gives you new perspective on your own life. This book inspired me to start meditating again because I had stopped. When you're like depressed and the biggest thing that you need to be doing, you don't
Yeah.
do. Yeah, meditation for me and journaling. And I'd stopped and I meditated yesterday and I got begin again. That was my
Mhm.
message.
Love that.
I was like, oh, we can all begin again. Every single day, we have an opportunity to begin again.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that is my vomit session. A little bit of therapy for me. Thank you. Any questions? I'm going to stop. I'll let you. I was going to segue to you right away, and I thought, oh, let's make sure we let you.
Yeah. Thanks. I hear what you're saying about once you articulate something and
Mm.
you like have somebody witness it with you,
Yes.
that really does create something. But and I understand the concept of you say something and the energy kind of dissipates, but part of it is you worked your way up to being able to understand what it is enough to talk
Yes.
about it. And I find that so valuable. And I wish it wasn't, because there are times when it's really hard to figure out how you feel. And I have struggled with that so many times about
Mm.
particular things or just life in general. But then it
Yes.
feels like once I'm super clear, I'm like, oh, like I can recognize it, I can look at it and even share about it. And it gives you some power.
That's a really good point. Like the process of getting to being able to label it is
Yeah.
huge. Yeah. And that
Yeah.
process can be really heavy and depressing and whatever
Oh,
you're
yeah.
working through. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
It's also really easy for a lot of us to really reject those times when we are feeling like down or low energy. Like it might actually be serving a purpose, or we're not distracting ourselves enough to not feel whatever that is. Who knows what you were sitting with? I don't know if
Right.
I said that quite right, but it's easy to want to feel like we should always be up. You are a
Yes.
high energy person. You're
Very.
hyper. Imagine you like, what's wrong? Why am I feeling it? When you're not feeling that? Everything I hear, that's meant to be therapeutic, not necessarily from the mouth of a therapist, is we have to be with our feelings. We have to be willing to be and sit with our feelings. That we're only able to change to the degree that we can honestly sit with ourselves. I just forwarded that to somebody yesterday. I saw that on Instagram.
And
You know,
that one again, it's really good. Say it again. Roughly.
thank you. Give me one sec. We can only meet ourselves to the degree that we're willing to be honest about who we are and how we
Mhm.
are, some
Mm.
version of that. I could look it
Mhm.
up, but, and
No, I
that's
do. We are often in Hawaii at the end of the year, and there's been a lot of
okay.
hubbub and and I
Mhm.
often get a heaviness. And I've had some past life
Mm.
flashes about my life in Hawaii. Ooh, you gotta.
Sorry, you just reminded me of something
Mm.
that I wasn't thinking to share, but I would love to share. Go ahead,
Ooh,
please.
okay. Yeah, but me first. Kidding.
Absolutely. Always. You've trained me. I'm kidding.
No, but I've
Finish. Yeah.
had in meditation, I've had past life flashes where I saw these children that I let down, like they got killed
Mm.
somehow.
Oh
And I
gosh.
think and I forgot about that until just now. And I need to remember to go back the next time we're in Hawaii, which is going to be in 4 weeks, which I'm so happy. I'm gonna work that out because I think that's why I feel really heavy in Hawaii. And I love Hawaii. It's definitely was a home of mine a long time ago. And I feel that there. And yet I need to work through that. And I'm wondering if that's me feeling it. And maybe it's why I avoid meditation when I'm there. I don't meditate when I'm in Hawaii, which is obviously I do because I had the flashbacks, but I avoid it. This is good realization for me. I'm going to work through that when I'm there next time. I'm going to work it out.
This feels so, what you're talking about just feels so powerful. I'm really feeling very aware of that. I'm feeling emotional. My eyes are watering. Just
Mhm.
to anybody who's listening who isn't aware, both of us are intuitive mediums. So we happen to pick up on stuff as we're talking, and it's not really the intention of what we're doing, but it just naturally occurs. And we're also very comfortable with each other doing that kind of thing.
Mhm. Shivers all
Oh,
over.
they just started up my legs and now they're tingling around my thighs. Wow.
Universe has been waiting a long time for me to
Ooh.
have that realization. I think they're like, finally, we can start growing our hair back.
First, I just want to say when you're there, if
Yeah.
you're looking to do that and there's any way I can support you, let me know. I would
Mm.
love to. I also want to share that I had a flashback once, and I might have shared this with you, where I saw that I was a mother in like kind of Midwestern times or Western times. I don't know what you would call it, but anyway. And I had a 5-year-old little girl who drowned
Mhm.
in a lake right by our house.
Oh.
Sorry, empath alert, empath alert, empath alert.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Oof.
And I realized when I
Wow.
had that flashback, that 5-year-old became my mother in this life.
Whoa. Ooh. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That explains a lot
It
of that
explains a
connection that
whole
you
lot.
have to her.
Very much the last time I saw her, because I'm hoping to inspire insight. Jen is
Hmm.
just moving around, getting lots of chills over there. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
it's
freaking out over
intense.
here. Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
no, it's
anyway,
okay.
I apologize to her for that. I said, I don't know if this will feel right or real to you, but I feel really clear that this is what happened. And I'm really sorry. I was neglectful and you were 5 and I fucked up and I'm really sorry. I still feel the sadness of what happened.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
That she felt ripped off. And so maybe she came back and there's a part of her that's still 5-year-old emotionally at times. She's also a grown ass woman, but anyway, it makes a whole lot of sense. On top of that, being on the land where that seemingly happened would bring that really up. And this is such a great, cool thing. Not that's the point of vagina whispering, but feeling
Yeah.
something in your body, being more connected to your body.
Mhm.
And maybe for our listeners, knowing that when you go to certain places and you feel something stir or something deaden, that
Mhm.
maybe there's something to look at. I have a very cool story to share with you related to that. I thought about this last year. What a cool book it would be to travel to different places and to connect with the land as an intuitive medium and then write about the land or what the land tells you or how it feels, the different energies there. Like, I just think that would be really fascinating. And I'm not
Mhm.
fascinated by much, but this seems really cool. So when
Like in
I'm
a
in,
shamanic journey?
could be, I don't
Huh.
know. Over the holidays, I was visiting with Grant's family in New Zealand for a couple of weeks. I am like the laziest freaking meditator ever. I
Hmm.
had this moment of doing that, and the thought had occurred to me, hey, I wonder what it would be like. I did it when I was there. I thought,
You
let me just
did.
connect down into the land.
Mhm.
And I connected with somebody who calls herself the Lady of the Ocean.
Mm.
And I had this really beautiful moment with this sort of imagine like this full figured Rubenesque female divine feminine energy the lady of the
Oh, the
ocean.
ocean.
And we connected a couple of times. It was so cool. At one point, I see myself walking around on the bottom of the ocean floor with her, holding hands. At one point, I'm floating and she's holding my hand and kind of very gently spinning me around. I need to connect with her more because I got lazy about it. But then I talked to a family member who can be pretty spiritual, and he described something really similar. And I was like, really? What the? It had never occurred to me, but being open to just
Mm-hmm.
let me see and going down, I really loved it. And then at the end, I was waiting to go in the water, like there's a bay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a pretty new swimmer. So I didn't want to go by myself. It wasn't until the day we were leaving, the four of us, my sister-in-law and her husband and my husband and I went to the bay, and I got my snorkel on and I got to go in the quite cold but very refreshing water. It was so amazing. And it was so nice to signal to the lady of the ocean how it was, I appreciated feeling welcomed into that body of water. But all
Wow.
of that to say that there's all these different energies, almost like pockets of them that we could tune into. How cool is that? Even though you feel the sadness and maybe the heaviness of the grief laden experience of being
Mm-hmm.
there,
Mm-hmm.
certainly something you can work through. And any children that you did have,
Mm.
hopefully are at peace now. And it might be nice to connect with them
Yeah.
and also connect with that land and the water underneath.
So Hawaii has a very brutal history. I
Oh,
mean, all of the islands used to fight one another. They weren't a peaceful state at that point. This is
gotcha.
years ago, and obviously years ago. But then you think of they all finally joined together. I think it's King Kamehameha that finally brought them all together. I'm not sure. Don't fact check that.
Mm,
But
okay.
in addition to that, think of how much Hawaii was then again stripped of what a lot of individuals there perceive as who they were when the United States made them a state and took them over. So you've got
Mm,
all of this energy of Hawaii, and yet it's the most gorgeous, beautiful, inspiring place. We did two morning sunrise paddles. So you go out in these canoes and it's ritual-esque. They chant and we talk about the power of the sun. And it's why I got the begin again meditation message. I'm not a fan of 2026 like having a theme, but I think that is supposed to be my theme this year. Begin again. Every
mm,
time you just have again, begin again. It's okay. Begin again. But anywho, you go out and you call in the sun and they chant as the sun is rising over the mountain, the volcano, and you get in the water and you go under and you hear the whales calling, and it's this beautiful, incredibly spiritual experience, and I love that. And one thing that they talked about is making sure that every time we see the sun that we honor the life that it gives, because if sun isn't here, we don't have life. And I learned that Hawaii means breath, is breath in Hawaiian, water and sun. They name like literally breath, water, sun, air, water, sun, breath. It is life-giving, Hawaii itself. So it's a there's this dichotomy of their history and yet their history. Both of the histories are true. And I'm gonna okay. Stay tuned. We're going in February. We'll have an update of what happened in mid-February.
love that.
I want to get back to a question I have for you. How did your mother react when you said, I'm sorry, you were a 5-year-old and you drowned?
That would be a very cool episode for Mediumship Sparks, because we
Mm,
could do that and share that.
perfect.
I freaking love that. That'd be
We need
such
to
an
talk
inspiring
about
thing to do.
we need to talk about Mediumship Sparks more, that podcast that you're doing. It's
Okay.
incredible. Yeah, so we'll do
Ah,
that. Okay,
thanks. Loving it.
good. So your
Yeah.
mom.
I don't think she really knew what to make of it.
Okay.
I think she relies a lot on me. If there's anything spiritual like in her sphere, it really is because of something that I said or I'm doing with her.
Okay.
So I didn't have any sense of her kind of tuning in and being like, oh my God, no wonder I feel X. I could ask her, I guess I don't really ask these deeper questions because she'll share so much about her everyday stuff. Anyway, I think she genuinely appreciated. I don't think apologies are like a part of our family culture. So
Mm,
I believe that she may have appreciated somebody actually apologizing to her for something. Part of what I think she really is very saddled with, although she's making improvements, And not to share my mother's business, but just she feels very victimized by her own mother and her childhood in that kind of way. I was wondering if some of that was maybe an old wound related to me, and she's been dragging it around.
Or it could be a theme way before you, and
Sure.
she's dragging
Yeah.
it around. It's not just you. Maybe
Fair enough. Yeah.
maybe those were the life paths that she chose, is I am going to have to struggle with the
Yeah.
concept of motherhood, whether I'm the child or I'm the mother, or maybe that's a theme that she hasn't worked through yet.
Definitely not. I think that is right. And I do believe in like karmic rebalancing. And so if we created this dynamic together, I hope to goodness it is freaking balanced.
Yeah, it's done. Check.
I have no desire to do this again.
It might be check balanced in your world.
Fair enough.
So maybe in a
Yeah.
parallel universe, which is very much the Midnight Library, in a parallel universe, you might have to still work that through with you.
Yeah.
But you've checked it off your list to say, okay, I'm good. We're good now. I figured out my role in this and come to peace with it. So a parallel life of yours may not encounter that again. She maybe hasn't figured it out yet and have a parallel life running next to you where you're still in that one, dealing with it, but the one that you're in won't, or future ones.
Yeah. Maybe I still need to maybe I still need to do things to nurture her. Maybe. I feel like I've been pretty committed to that for on and off in this lifetime.
So I got a message though when you said maybe I need to go ask her, and not even a message, but a clairsentient feeling of that you've done your work.
Oh.
You only control your space. You've done your work.
Okay. Thank you.
I had this conversation with Kandela yesterday, our exchange student. I said, you can't make anyone feel like anything. It's my job to feel my way. And if it's our job to hold our own energy, and that's all we can do. So you've done your work. Now it's her turn. If you feel closure on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the sense that you actually did. When you made that apology and made that recognition, there was this closure for you. I'm seeing like a around you, like air and sparkles. Like, this is good. Yes, you figured it out. It's her turn to figure it out. This is not the path that you control.
Yeah, thanks. There's a lot to be said for the willingness to apologize for something. And I really have tried working on being egoic in the way that has been downloaded to me and letting that go. And so if I was going to stick with being egoic, a few years ago version of me, I would have been like, screw that. I don't need to, or whatever it is, feeling like I am justified to not apologize because I'm hurt too. But I do feel like when I did say that, and I really meant it from my bone marrow, I meant it to her. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. And I don't want to carry something that's not mine. I've been doing that. I really want to relieve myself of that. Yeah.
Good on you. Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. To access the full unedited interview on video, visit our Vagina Whispering channel on YouTube. If you have a topic you'd like to learn about, or if you have a specialist you'd like us to interview, please email us at vaginawhispering@gmail.com. And on a final note, while Noelle Dean is a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, she does not provide any psychotherapy or other licensed healthcare services as the host. Any action you take based on the information contained herein is strictly at your own risk. Please refer to the podcast disclaimer in the show notes for further information.